gentlemen, I'm Don Pratt, host of a show here in Rogers TV where we give you a perspective of policing your community. Welcome to Policing York Region. Fantastic opportunity today. We're talking about the York Regional Police Community Chorus, and with that, we have Supervisor Lowell McClenny. Lowell, thanks
Don,
so much for
thank
being
you for
here.
inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Great to see you again.
Yes.
It's been a couple of years since we've had you on.
Yes,
And,
yes. Where's the time gone?
it sure has gone.
Oh, you're right,
And there's been some really neat changes with the community chorus.
Well, you know, it's I'm the father of this group. You know, it started in 1991, and there's been a lot of changes and times and whatever. But you know, it's just we're moving on, eh?
Yeah, that's right.
Can I tell you one thing?
Sure.
We'd love to come up here to Georgina. We do.
Absolutely.
It's a fantastic part of the region, and we've done a lot of work up here.
Yes.
Just great. Great.
Yeah, no, and I've been in many circles hearing that the community chorus has been up here. One of them, our volunteer team had the pleasure of putting together, was with Cedar Vale Lodge.
Exactly, and
wow,
it was.
They talked about that, Lowell, for weeks.
You know, I have to just say one thing about Cedar Vale Lodge. The gal that was there, who runs the show, I guess, she had a little dog running around that night, and it was priceless because, you know, not only did we enjoy the seniors, but this little dog was wandering around up through the ranks of the chorus, and the whole night was fantastic, you know.
Yes.
So we hope to get back to Cedar Vale Lodge soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that happens.
Ah, good.
Right?
No, I'm going to keep you to that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Now, and you do so many different venues. Just before we started on the air, you had me at a loss for words, which doesn't happen very often. 791 concerts.
791 concerts, and we've been on 4 world tours. Well, yeah, I guess you call them world tours. Fundraising for many groups all over the world, and you know, we're not only a regional chorus. We've done things in the GTA. Far north is Owen Sound, Windsor. You know, we're all over the place. London and whatever.
You go everywhere.
Yeah,
now,
we do.
I'm kind of intrigued with the 4 world tours.
I'm sorry?
The 4 world tours. Where were
4 world tours. Okay, let's start with the first one. 1996, we went to Northern Ireland, and then in 2000, we were to England and Wales. Wow. And 2004, we were back. Let me think. I'm having trouble remembering.
That's
myself.
okay. We'll come back to it.
Let me bounce through to 2008, which is really important to me because it was a tour of Newfoundland, Labrador.
Oh wow!
We stayed in Canada for the first time, where a dollar was a dollar.
Yes,
and we had a hoot over there. We had a great time in Newfoundland. One fantastic place to go. They treated us well, as they have all over the world. And I brought with me some gifts here today that were presented to us.
Just speak to these a little bit.
Yeah, okay. We were in these 2 helmets here would be either from, I can't see the front, but one would be from England and Wales, a place called Ogmore Valley in Wales, actually. The other one was from down in England, and Hampshire Constabulary Police Chorus presented that to them, to us, I should say. And we did a concert with their band. They had an actual brass band, and we did a concert with them on stage in a century-old theater that was being restored in Portsmouth, and what a thrill that was. So
I'll bet.
Yeah, you know, we've met so many people, not only locally but worldwide, and spread the word of York Regional Police, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, isn't that what it's all about?
Lowell, if you've pulled off 791 concerts, you've definitely met a lot of people.
Yeah, and just a little fact about Lowell: I've been to all but 4.
Is that right?
All but 4, because I set them up and I visit the places and whatever. But I'm not looking for credit, but I've met a lot of good people too.
I'm sure you did.
A lot of fantastic people out there in the world.
A little bit of history on the community chorus then. It started in 1991.
Well, it started as a male chorus in 1991. Yes.
And how did that happen?
Well, at the time, Chief Don Hillick was in power, and we got a bit of a directive from the government of Ontario saying that policing in Ontario had to be more community orientated. Okay.
Really?
I was in charge of community services for the region police department at the time, and I was given the task of forming something that would get out into the community, bring us closer to the people that we serve. Right. We already had a pipe and drum band, and that was formed in 1988. Oh. Okay. So 1991 was when this chorus was actually put together at the request of the chief to do something for York Region. So not being a music man, I mean, I knew nothing but policing and hockey, really, you know. But I went to someone who was very close to me. He's called my brother, and he was a singer. My brother said, "Why don't you suggest a male chorus?" Of course, he had sung the male choruses, and I said, "I don't know anything about male chorus." He said, "A male chorus is a special thing because it's the sound of men's voices blending together that people enjoy." I said, "Okay. What do I have to do?" "Well, you got to find a director. You got to find somebody who can play a piano." "Oh yeah, okay, that's wonderful." Yeah. I went to Chief Hillick, and I said, "Here's what it is. I've come with this idea, and I don't know whether you want to accept it or not, but it's a case of putting together a choir, a chorus to go into the community. What's it going to cost?" Always the first question in policing, you know, what's it going to cost? Yeah. I said, "I'll be back to you in a week." I came back with the figures. He said, "Go for it." I said, "Okay, what are we going to wear? You want us in police uniform?" No, definitely not, you know. So he actually budgeted for gray blazers, black pants, and a special tie, and that's how we started. So that's the way the chorus came together. I found two local music teachers. One, they were married, by the way. One was the conductor and one was the accompanist.
Great.
And they came in as volunteers. The chorus started with 15 members, and what we had done, Don, is we wanted to have half police, half community. So we brought in, I don't know, whether 7 or 8 police officers and 7 or 8 of the other, but it totaled to 15 anyways. Yeah. And we brought these people together so they could gel and see how does it feel to be a policeman? How does it feel to be a community person involved in it? And it worked. As the years went by, people in policing wanted to be involved in sports.
Yes.
More, they were younger, and they are now. And so what we did is as they drifted out, we brought more community members in as volunteers. And it worked. And today our total membership would be in the area of about 42 members.
Wow, that's
yeah.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, it's 42 members, and it's really become a family. It's not just a police chorus, it's a family. And there are a group of people from up here in Georgina. I've got a pile of people from up here.
Absolutely.
Wonderful people. They come as far south as Thornhill, Richmond Hill, all of the communities except on the western edge. But everybody sort of has contributed some of their citizens to the chorus.
That's fantastic. So worthy to note, though, you do not need to be a York Regional Police member or officer to join.
Your question is, should I have more members of police?
No, you don't. You don't have to be an officer in order to join.
Oh no!
Community is fine.
Oh no! That's a bit of a stigma that comes with the chorus.
Yes.
People out in the community think you have to have been in policing, or you have to have some involvement somewhere in the policing circles.
Right.
Not at all.
No.
Everyone in that chorus, except for 3 of us now, 3 of us are retired members of a police service. The others are all community people. I have truck drivers. I have psychologists. I got them all. You know, yeah, great people too. Love them.
And now with the rebranding or the remodeling of it, switching those gears from the male chorus to the community chorus.
Yes.
It's now all inclusive.
It's inclusive. It's become inclusive because that's the way society is today. Sure. And you know something? We now have 5 ladies in the chorus.
Fantastic.
And the big problem was getting the first one. Because
I can imagine.
There was no one in the community that wanted to come in and be with this group of guys, because they didn't really understand what was going on.
Sure.
So what happened is 2 of them come in at the same time.
Okay.
And it worked out well. So now we have 5.
That's great.
And you know, it's their sound has not changed the sound of the chorus. The chorus is still a very harmonious group of people, and the sound is very great. Well, why would we have we wouldn't have 791 concerts if people didn't like it, right?
You're absolutely right. You would not.
Yeah. So the inclusiveness has not bothered us at all. We're very happy to have the ladies with us, and it will no doubt grow in the future. You know.
Yeah, of course it will.
So we're looking for all kinds of members, men, women. You know, come and see us. We're there.
Yeah, and throughout the show, we're going to have your contact information up on the screen so that people can contact you just in the event that maybe they do have an interest in joining, right?
Music is a big part of a lot of people's world.
It is.
And it's a great communicator for anyone from disability people to elderly. They love music. They love music. And most of our concerts, by the way, are before probably retirement people, you know, like seniors and seniors residents or seniors associations, but we do a lot of work in schools and things like that too with Remembrance Day services. So we do it all, you know.
Yeah, I know that you're busy with the Remembrance Day services and of course out in Ottawa too, right?
Yes, that's a bit different. That's a police remembrance. That's actually a memorial for police officers killed in the line of duty for way back in the 1800s. And we do one in Toronto in May, and we do one in Ottawa actually in September, the last weekend of September every year.
Right.
So it's a very important part of our association with the police departments.
Yeah, of course it is. And you've done similar events in concert with other choruses.
Oh, most definitely. We have, actually, if I can give this a little bit of a plug here.
Of course.
Saturday, November the 9th.
Yes.
At the Richmond Hill Theatre for Performing Arts. We're
your annual.
Yeah, we're a big place. I tell you, we're going from church to this, you know. But anyway, we have our 27th annual fundraising concert. Now, this money from this concert goes into the community, and some of it stays with us to keep the chorus going. Don't want to tax taxpayers too much, you know, so we've got to keep that a little bit aside. This year, we're having a chorus from Ottawa Police Department. We're having York Regional Police Community Chorus, by the way. And we have a seniors chorus from Aurora called the Evergreen Choir.
Oh, nice.
And the Salvation Army Children's Chorus from North York Temple School of Music. So we have 4 choirs coming to that one night at the Richmond Hill Theatre for Performing Arts. Yeah.
Well, and that's something good to note is that this is an annual event that is held once a year, right?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing event, right?
It is. It's a great night. We last year sold over 500 tickets for the one night. And,
wow.
And it's.
On that note, Lowell, I got to get you to hang on, folks. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone, as we continue our conversation with Lowell McClenny of the Community Chorus. Lowell, thanks for coming back again. You know, we were talking about, I'm still stuck on the 791, but that's a lot of concerts. You alluded to the year that this was formed. 1991 that it was formed?
Did I mention the year it was formed? Yes, I mentioned 1991.
Okay, so
we talked about that because of the fact that we had to go to the chief and get something going. Yeah.
And why I wanted to touch on that is just from earlier conversation you and I have had, you had support right out of the gate.
Yes.
Day one.
Most definitely.
And that support continues today with the executive command that we have there now.
Yes, it does. It really does. It's a necessary part of being a volunteer group within the police organization. You have to have that support from the top.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, that's sure.
I'm part of a volunteer in a few. I wear a couple of different hats.
Yes. I like to say this, that from the chief, every chief that's been involved since 1991 has been a big supporter of our group.
Fantastic.
And you know something, they come to our Christmas party every year. All these different chiefs have come every year to our Christmas party, and I can tell you why. They have so many different places to go around Christmas time at the districts, and they get turkeyed out. We have Chinese food every year.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
It's one of Eric Jollis, who our present chief, is one of his prime locations to come at Christmas time. And Eric, if you're watching, we love you.
I'm going to have to put that in my calendar, Lowell.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you're welcome to come.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Now we're fortunate enough to have a few pictures that I just want to slide through, and if you can speak to them as they come up, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, here we are.
Well, that picture there was taken at Pioneer Village, and that was on the 100th anniversary of the First World War, I believe. Because and it had to do with the children who were sent over from England and were adopted or put into families here in Canada.
Wow.
And that was the group that actually put us into that situation. Don Cherry was the MC. It was a guest there. I'm sorry, I sat right beside Don Cherry, just like I'm sitting beside you.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not quite as colorful, but that's a great shot of some of the members there.
Yes, that's at one of our concerts, of course, and. There you are. I mean, you can tell by that photo that the guys are enthusiastic, and especially the guy at the very forefront.
Yes. He is.
Yeah, that's one of our official photographs, Don. That's taken at the regional headquarters in Newmarket.
Right.
We
That's
do
in
one
the
every
atrium.
1 or 2 years because we have a change in personnel, of course, and chiefs, and they like to be in the front row.
Oh,
you know,
you need to,
so
you
we
need
do
to change
that.
up. And this is another community event.
Yeah,
right?
that's another
fantastic.
community event. Now, you know something? I can tell you this much. That's in the early stages because Dave Kern, who was our conductor, has been retired for about 10 or 12 years. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's been around. That picture's been around for a while.
Yeah. And that was up here in this great
Oh, that was up in Free
municipality of
District.
Georgina.
Yes.
At the Cenotaph in Sutton.
Right.
The Memory Ridge celebrations back a couple of years ago. you
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Yes, we came up and did that. That particular photograph is in Ottawa on the steps of Parliament Hill. There's about 5 or 6, maybe 7 choruses there. We're part of that mass chorus.
Oh, right.
And this is the Canadian Police and Peace Officers Memorial Service, which is
Yes.
an annual event,
Right.
which we're going to the last weekend of September. This year's.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Oh, and this is
Yeah.
back at regional headquarters, right?
Yes, that's right. And you can see the growth in the size of the chorus. as well, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, you mentioned it. 45 members.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. It's,
And you're always growing. You're always looking for new members.
we're always looking
your
for
door's
new
always
members.
open.
We're looking for people who want to be a volunteer first of all, and they have to sing. They love to sing, or they shouldn't be there in the first place. But we have no structure in place that you have to come in and be auditioned. You come in if you want to sing. We'll teach you how to sing.
Wow.
We have guys in the chorus couldn't carry a note in the bucket.
Wow.
A note in the bucket at the beginning.
that right?
And as long as you can follow the little birds on the wire,
Yeah.
and we have great instructors. Our conductors are really good
course.
instructors. So they teach you how to sing. And one thing I have to tell you, we do not sing with music in front of us in a concert.
Oh, yeah. You had mentioned that. You don't have sheet music in
No,
front of you.
we do that in rehearsal, of course, to learn the music. One of the things we found that all of our guys are of an age now, and including myself, where memory work it helps you. It helps you be, keep going.
Yeah, it helps keep
really
working.
does. So one of the things we found with all the guys and gals and is that this is really a plus for them
Yeah.
to learn that music.
Yeah.
And, first to go out there to a concert, the first time without music, and I know what it was like because I had to do it myself. And this all came in place in 1996, by the way. We were going to go and do our first tour in Northern Ireland. And if anyone knows anything about Northern Ireland, they're very musical, Irish are musical people.
Yes.
So we said to our conductor at the time, we can't go over there with these books in front of us. And, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, we'll memorize. So we memorized I guess probably about 15 songs. I went over there and did
Wow.
it. That was when it all started. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I can tell you now that your memory, it's a plus for your memory because it keeps going, it keeps you thinking all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe you should join us.
Oh, you put me on the spot, though.
I'll leave it. You can come to the Christmas party. Okay?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been at some of the events, and I have to admit that there's nothing much like watching how much fun all you folks have.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone there does always have a good time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Including the guests, of course.
Yes,
right?
that's for sure. Yeah.
So I'm just curious, as I'm sitting here thinking, we were talking about the volunteer piece to it. Is this some of the same volunteer process as the rest of our volunteer?
Yes, everyone has to be. It's not exactly the same because I'm not too sure what they do in the other side now. But when you come into the chorus, the first thing is that they're invited to sit in and listen to the chorus on a rehearsal, okay? I talk to them after, are you interested? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, here's the next step. You have to now put in a volunteer screening process,
Yes.
get into that process. So we present the forms to them, they fill them out, they bring them back to me, and I submit them on behalf of them. They don't have to go to headquarters for that at all.
Sure.
There's also a little process where we have a 3-person committee that sits with them before they get into the learning member stage, and they will sit down and just ask about commitments and whatever just questions that we need to know. Have you had any kind of musical experience, stuff like that.
Right.
But that's just a very informal thing. Once that happens, we issue them with a learning member's uniform, which is basically what I'm wearing here today.
Sure.
And they do not and cannot perform in public, so they are asked to come to all of the events and sit in the audience. So that they see what's going on with the chorus.
Right.
So they have to sit and listen It helps them learn because they're doing it in rehearsal, but this is an add-on, you know. But they can be with the chorus before when it forms up, before it goes on stage, at intermission, and after. And it gives them the feel of what's going on as a learning member. So once they are now in that status, they have to tell us, how do you feel about the music? Have you learned enough music? We don't test them on that. They test themselves when they're standing up there for the very first time in front of an audience.
So it's actually their own comfort level.
Yeah, that's right. And we just tell them, if you don't know it, sing Watermelon. Nobody knows what. But most of them find that coming into that situation of being on stage for the first time and then continuing on helps them pick up without a book in front of their face. Whether, you know, they don't have it there. They hear. And they can hear what's in the sections, what's being sung. So it's a learning process as well. So, but that's really what happens. You know, that's how it really comes about.
Yeah.
And we provide all the uniforms and.
I was going to get to that. I mean, they're pretty sharp-looking uniforms, as you can see in the pictures.
Yeah, they've come a long way. You know, I mean, we started with a blazer and a pair of black pants. I think I mentioned that earlier, and a special tie. But now we do look, and that was put in place in 1996 when we made our first trip to Northern Ireland. The chief of the day wanted that to happen, and we were put into uniforms.
Yeah, they're pretty smart-looking uniforms, very similar to the York Regional Police uniform.
Very much so. We're a little dressier, I think.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
So, out of these 791 concerts, I mean, you must have some favorites.
Yes, I guess I have. I think at Northern Ireland, I have to talk about two particular places, Northern Ireland and Newfoundland. Okay, Northern Ireland because we were hosted by the Royal Ulster Constabulary for our trips, and Newfoundland, meeting the people was a thrill. We did all, by the way, in Newfoundland, we did all Salvation Army concerts, raised money for them down there. Right. All of these trips where money was raised for the churches or the associations in their location. We didn't take anything. We paid our own way.
Right.
We paid. We raised the funds and paid our own way. So. The taxpayers didn't have to pay anything on that one, by the way. You know?
No, and that's something I want to get to in a minute. Is we'll talk about the money. But you were saying, so these were two of your highlight concerts.
Yeah, I think so. Yes. May I add one more?
Of course.
I produced this concert I talked about on November the 9th. I thoroughly enjoy organizing and putting that together. It's a lot of work. It's months of work, you know, doing the staging, doing the master of ceremony script, working with the people to get them there. It's a big event, but you know, when it all comes together, it gives you a heck of a great feeling. You know? Especially when you can present a check to somebody in the community from those funds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I really think that's you know.
So I mean, you play a lot of events per year. Yeah. Is there some place that people can go to see a list of these events, or do they just simply contact you?
Well, they basically contact me because I do the arrangements and whatever, and I treat it like a business. I mean, they get an official letter saying we'll confirming our attendance, that type of thing. It's but they best to contact me because I can tell them exactly what they have to do, and it makes it easier for them. Oh, perfect. Yeah, perfect. Like we're doing one in Caledon East on October the 6th, and the lady, I think I'm almost married to her because you know she's a wonderful senior lady who's put this all together for her church. Nice. And you know, every once in a while we get an email or a phone call or whatever, but you know, she's found it easier dealing with me directly. Yes, and that's because of the experience, you know. So of course. Now we were talking about some of the financial implications, and it is always worthy to note on the volunteer side of the fence, the community chorus included. This is not taxpayers' money. Yeah. Right. This money does not come from the taxpayers. No. Can I tell you what York Regional Police supply? Yeah. First of all, they supply the uniforms, which I reuse. I don't turn them in. Nope. I have a stock of uniforms in a location in the old headquarters building. So we don't have to do that. We buy our own music. We pay our own bills. They provide us with a highway bus, which is a godsend. Yes. Because that bus has taken us all over to the various places that we've been able to travel. So we're pretty well self-sufficient. And things to note, though, things like that bus, that was provided to York Regional Police by the Police Appreciation Night funding. It was. So I'm just always heavy on making sure people are aware that this is not taxpayer money. Exactly. In fact, that Police Appreciation Night has helped us in many ways too. They bought us maybe a couple of keyboards over the many years, things like that. They bought you instruments. For sure. They've supplied these sweaters one year for us. You know, as part of our uniform. for them.
Yeah.
So we're not, and none of the volunteer groups, I think, are not burdening the police department or the taxpayers. That's for sure.
No, they're definitely not. Yeah, they are totally self-sufficient. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah.
And you mentioned fundraising. I mean, a lot of what you do is fundraising.
Yes, well, definitely.
Right?
I couldn't tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars we've raised in the communities all over. Even this November 9th concert, the annual 27th concert, we've probably a couple of $100,000 have gone into the community over the 27 years.
Wow,
So,
that's pretty significant.
We do what we do is that, Don, is we look at nonprofit organizations, an individual, even an individual family is suffering. We've bought food vouchers for families.
That's
at Christmas
fantastic.
time, out of that fund.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of various things that we've helped the community with because of that particular concert.
You're an absolutely amazing group, and the things that you do in the community are they're always highly regarded.
Yes.
Lowell, it's been great having you on this show, and I certainly look forward to seeing you
Don,
back on here
thank
again.
you so very much for inviting me. It's my
Folks,
pleasure.
that wraps up this episode of Policing York Region. Been great having you. Look forward to seeing you again.